Hi, Abik.
Yeah, but
Carolus. Um, so, so all the frustrations that we have this season is not just particularly for this season. It's been chronologically coming from the past few seasons, and to begin the season saying Project Star and to be at a situation where we are at talking relegation, I think a lot of it is very self-inflicted from the club and the way that we are reacting to the situation right now through social media or also with the signings that we are doing. So I wanted to understand, even though we set our expectations that we shouldn't expect too much this season, but I'm sure all of us didn't expect us to perform this badly. So between finance and execution and strategy, whom is to blame here? And is the club ready to take accountability of what has happened this season so far?
Yeah, I can take a part of that question. So uh, today we are sitting here to listen to this because I think we like to take accountability and responsibility, right? Otherwise, it would have been very easy for us to say we don't want to do any meeting till the season finishes, blah blah blah. But the fact that I think we're here and we're very open-minded to the feedback that you've given shows that I think we've never. I think right. I don't think at least the one thing which I can share for the club and everybody is that we've never hidden face. I don't think that's ever been the case, and that will continue to do so as long as we'll continue to do that as long as we're at the club. So everybody at the club absolutely takes accountability and responsibility. It's our decisions that have led us here. The reasons for those decisions, of course, there are multiple decisions from a financial level, from a league uncertainty level, but then, of course, should we be where we are at this stage? Definitely not. I don't think any of us are um, justifying that yes, this is exactly where we should have been or this is where we need to be. No, performances have to be much better. I don't think we are at all close to the standard that we expect from the players, from ourselves, from everybody. So to say who's going to take responsibility, we will. And I think there is a board of the club that we report to as well. You know, we are accountable to them more than anybody else. We're accountable to them because we manage their investment. We are managing their sort of trust as well. So at the end of the day, um, you know, they're the ones who also, uh, we have to be accountable to for anything that we do. So from a responsibility standpoint, I'll put my hands up and say we are not where we should be. I'll put my hands up and say that this year has been it's been a big learning curve as well for us. Especially I can just take some of the things on myself as well. Obviously, when you come into a club like this and you are trying to figure things out as well in terms of what you need to do, how you need to respond to the fans, what is the best way to deal with the fans, right? And every action that you take, the intention is always to have a connection with the fans. It's never to disrespect fans, or it's never to, because at the end of the day, why would you want to self-inflict injury on yourself? But like everybody, I think as individuals, everybody makes mistakes, or we make ill-advised sort of decisions, which then you learn from, right? I think it's important that you learn from it and you don't repeat it. So I've had my own journey in sort of understanding what's the best way to communicate, whether I should communicate, whether I shouldn't communicate, what I should do. Um, and I've been considerably off social media for a fair bit now. I think because I feel like you said, I don't want to be justifying everything every time. So I think we've had our own challenges to see, and this club's pretty unique in that way. It's pretty intense. It's very difficult to sort of arrive at the right formula, but there are definitely takeaways from here that have given us a deep insight into what we feel will shape what we do going forward. Um, so from that standpoint, I can put my hands up and say I've taken multiple decisions through the year from a communication perspective, which if I look back at hindsight, I feel okay. Would I have approached it differently? I would have. But obviously, the intention always is to build a connect with the fans, right? And it's a bit of a double-edged sword. When you don't communicate, fans are like, there's no openness, there's nobody communicating with us. And when you do communicate, they're like, there's too much communication. So it's a very fine line that you have to walk. From a social media perspective, again, I'll take most of the responsibility for it, from the standpoint that it is also very easy to put blame, but you do understand that you're managing a lot of the fans that have been blocked. I would like to assure you, are not for saying Magnum out or management out or Abhik out or Carolis out. There are still so many comments that still exist on our page. Uh, the moment you choose to spam a comment with a which has a limit of a certain number of characters, and there are people who are posting messages that are above 500 odd words or so, there's an automatic phishing detector which just blocks them because it's treated as spam, right? And you would agree that, that is something which we would control from a club perspective. Obviously, there are so many comments that you can just open the page and see. There are a lot of comments that say club out, Magnum out, whatever out, personal comments at us. We've not deleted or blocked any of them. There are specific tools put in place to detect spamming and phishing, and those automatically block people who are either abusive words, they're automatically blocked, or if they are engaging in spamming, if you comment the same thing above an X number of times, you or in the same thing, you automatically get blocked, right? And you do understand that while we have to manage this, we are also managing our sponsors, a lot of whom have, you know it's difficult to sort of look at them as well, because if you see their comment box, it's sometimes, not the best thing for the club, and that's something which we have had to suffer from this year. And I feel it's again a learning process from a social media perspective, because I never feel you can have a perfect social media strategy for a club like this, but you can try and adopt best practices, right? So a lot of the feedback that you've taken on board, 100%, I think we can sort of take a look at that and try and get better. Am I saying that we are the best in some things? Yes. Am I saying we need to learn? 100% we need to learn. And these are all, so also it is very difficult. I don't know how to explain to you guys. It's very difficult to change tack in the middle of an ongoing season, especially when it's going against you. So a lot of the times you end up taking decisions that are compounding errors, right? It's just like a stack of cards. You take maybe one bad decision, and then there's another, and there's another, and there's another. So it's difficult, right? So it's also something which we will take seriously and review as well from our side. But obviously, I think from a standpoint that wherever we felt there needs, and I took all the feedback on board. I've read everything, and definitely we'll try and improve. A lot of what we have. I will not give you any excuses for why it was so, but I can definitely relay that. We will take everything on board at the end of the season, and there's a lot to take on board. And 100%, I think we will try and improve, more or less, on everything that I see here, except switching off the comment section, which is mostly done for the sponsored posts. If you guys go and see and check, right? Because we are at a point where it's getting really difficult to manage, and that's something which is non-negotiable for us. Delay or not publishing results, especially youth and reserves, point taken on board. And this has already been passed on to the youth and reserves team. Sometimes communication from their side is also late, in the sense that people are traveling, team managers are trying to relay results to us, etc. But definitely this can be something which we will look at. Missing important dates, including birthday wishes. I don't think we've missed birthdays ever. I think we're just trying to limit abuse in some certain cases, because you have to also understand that as players, and as everybody is an asset of the club, there is a certain responsibility that we have towards them as well, right? So if you're going to wish somebody, and they get a comment section full of abuse, it just does not serve the. I understand what you guys are saying about making the club voice heard. I remember the club wished me once on my birthday, and I opened the comment section. There are people who want to shoot me dead. There are people who want to do things to my family, and I wish I hit a car and die. You see all of that. You don't want that, right? So it's a call we take, depending on the sentiment and the mood there exists. And I don't think anybody on their birthday wants to get abused. Why would you? So that one day you spare them the the pain. But guys, again, my hand is up. Okay, I definitely take the feedback on board. and we will 100% work on it to ensure that most of these are not complaints you have next year. I would like to commend everybody at the club, because there are many things that are not out there in the open, especially people at this club who have made enormous financial sacrifices, all the staff, to stay and help this club when they could have gone on and done a lot of other things and not have had to take these financial sort of sacrifices, but they chose to stay here and help the club when it was really difficult, at a very difficult stage, right? So i sometimes you can criticize people, but I stand with each and every staff member that I have today. I'm proud of them, that so many of them have so many issues at home, a lot of problems, but yet despite, we've each employee of this club from to bottom has made a financial sacrifice to help everybody in this situation. We were going through a tough period. I think there were no when people said communication is a problem at the very beginning of the season, we did say that the club almost shut down. It was really serious. We were not trying to gain sympathy or try to make an excuse. It was a fact. I do understand people might think it's an excuse, but so be it. But I would like to publicly commend my staff for standing with the club, with me, with the owners, and making sure that despite their challenges, when it can so easily be so difficult to drop off and not continue, that they've stayed here and they've continued to push and believe and try and do their best every day, when I see it's so hard for them on some days, right? So I accept everything, and if you want to criticize somebody, I'll take the blame. I am responsible for this club, for everything, so I take most of it on board. But I will stand by my staff and stand by each and every person in this club, whether it's the sporting director on this call, in the sense that I know things are not the way they should be, but I have deep respect for them as professionals and human beings, and that will always be there for what they have done, that I have seen. You guys may not have seen it. Nobody else might have seen it on the outside, and nobody else might want to believe what I'm saying. But it's from the heart, and if you I take the responsibility for it. We will definitely try, and there's no excuse. We'll try and get better. I think that's why we are here on this call, to say, okay, there are some areas we need to get better. So if you have to blame somebody, blame me. But I really appreciate all the work that the staff has done. Despite the challenges, despite the limited amount of staff we've had this season, we had to take those decisions in certain areas. So on this side, at least, from this standpoint, to answer your question, Abhijit, we take accountability and responsibility. We are not running away. And the reason why we are here is none of us are enjoying this moment and, having fun. It is deeply hurting us, right? All our professional careers, it's a black mark on it, right? How this season's going. So nobody here is enjoying it. And please understand that there is a fire inside us to change this as well, and do well for not just the club but for ourselves as well, right? Who wants to be in this situation? So there are things obviously we cannot publicly disclose, but and those will have to be decisions taken. As like I said, we are answerable to the board of this club, and ultimately they will decide what to do. But as long as we are here, please do understand that we don't take this lightly, and it's like we don't care. That's not the point. And it's deeply, deeply a situation where, please know that we are very motivated. I don't know what the outcome in the next few games will be. We'll try our best, but just generally, whatever the future of this club is, everybody is motivated to not have something like this, and just succeed. We are here to succeed. We're all competitive people. Nobody wants to walk away from something like this thinking what we could not have done.
If I have to ask just a follow-up question, we got a few suggestions.